Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session, hour 106.
This I would like to be, braver and bolder, just a bit wiser because I'm older, just a bit kinder to those I may meet, just a bit manlier, taking defeat. This I would like to be, just a bit finer, more of a smiler and less of a whiner, just a bit quicker to stretch out my hand, helping another who's struggling to stand. This is my prayer for the new year to be. Lord, make a regular man out of me. This I would like to be, just a bit fairer, just a bit better, and just a bit squarer. Not quite so ready to censure and blame, quicker to help every man in the game. Not quite so eager men's failings to see. Lord, make a regular man out of me. This I would like to be, just a bit truer, less of the wisher and more of the doer, broader and bigger, more willing to give, living and helping my neighbor to live. This is my prayer and my plea. Lord, make a regular man out of me.
Lessons in my life. Always be careful and kind. Be careful and kind. They make you resist today, but tomorrow they change their minds. Make you break my promises today, but tomorrow they change their minds. But now I know the man I love, I'm for people. I'm a progressive man and I love progressive people. I'm a truthful man and I love truthful people. I'm an honest man and I love honest people. I've learned some lessons in my life. Lessons in my life. Always be careful of my friends. Be careful, my friends. Money can make friendship end. It makes friendship end. Money can make friendship end. It makes friendship end. I'm an awful man and I love awful people. I'm a progressive man and I love progressive people. I'm an honest man, I love honest people. I'm an intelligent man and I love intelligent people. I'm an aggressive man and I love aggressive people. I'm a fire man and I love fire people. I'm an awful man and I love awful people. I'm an intelligent man and I love intelligent people.
We started out this afternoon with a piece by Edgar Albert Guest, Lord, Make a Regular Man Out of Me, and paired that with Lessons in My Life by Peter Tosh. For this afternoon's edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. It's still the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 21st day of the 8th month of 2023, the International Year of Millets. A millet is a cereal grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds. And in that regard, these seeds apparently are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Put another way, it's the 21st day of the 3rd month of the 2023 North Atlantic hurricane season. And let's see what the National Meteorological Service of Jamaica is saying. Weather-wise, some things have been happening. There's some activity in the region. So we have to keep up. So there's a broad trough across Jamaica. And again, just remember when we speak of trough, whenever you hear us referencing a trough, it usually is an indication of some level of instability in terms of the weather situation within the region. So that word should always give us a hint as to what to expect, because a trough denotes what some people refer to as bad weather in terms of clouding and rain or thunderstorms. In fact, a trough is always associated with some weather activity, either directly or indirectly. So there's a broad trough across Jamaica and the Central Caribbean. This trough will linger across the region as Tropical Storm Franklin remains east of Jamaica. Tropical Storm Franklin is expected to move north across Hispaniola over the few days, and therefore not expected to be a direct threat to Jamaica. The forecast for the rest of this afternoon, isolated showers and possible thunderstorms across sections of southern parishes, windy, especially across northern parishes. Tonight, partly cloudy across north central and eastern parishes. What to expect tomorrow, Tuesday the 22nd? Partly cloudy morning with isolated showers and possible thunderstorms across sections of northern parishes. Isolated afternoon showers and possible thunderstorms mainly across southern parishes. Windy, especially across northern parishes. Isolated nighttime showers across north central and eastern parishes. Then Wednesday, we're looking at morning showers across sections of northern parishes, becoming mostly cloudy in the afternoon to evening with showers and thunderstorms. Nighttime showers mainly across southern, in fact, south central and eastern parishes. And Thursday, becoming mostly cloudy in the morning across southern and northeastern parishes with afternoon showers and thunderstorms, especially across northern and southeastern parishes. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:15. Education plays a critical role in the lives of our young people. At the American Foundation for the University of the West Indies, we ensure financially challenged students across the Caribbean are given increased access to higher education so they can continue to transform their lives and the lives of others. Support our mission in shaping the lives of our future leaders. Donate to educate. Contact our office at 212-759-9345 for more details. Welcome to the new dimension in eye care, the Optical Zone, offering exceptionally comfortable eyewear. We fill prescriptions and do eye examinations. This complete optical store is conveniently located at Shop 14, York Plaza, Halfway Tree. Telephone 929-8656. The Optical Zone, providing vision for life.
Advertisers, reach more, spend less in the Star 3 for 2 summer sale. Contact your dealer representative today or call 876-932-6020. The Star, the people paper.
So here are some other current regional weather features that are to be monitored. Tropical storm Franklin, as we said a short while ago before the break. Tropical storm Franklin is across the central tropical Atlantic and is 395 kilometers south of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Tropical storm Emily, I'm surprised to see another Emily. I thought they would normally retire some of these names. Well, I guess it depends on the severity of the storm, among other things. But Tropical storm Emily, also across the tropical Atlantic, and is expected to become a post-tropical cyclone soon. Tropical storm Gert, Gert, across the tropical Atlantic and is 730 kilometers east-southeast of the northern Leeward Islands and is quickly unraveling. So those are the systems, the other current regional weather features that are being monitored at home and abroad. So let's pay attention as we remind ourselves that this is in fact the North Atlantic hurricane season. The birthday of Mohammed VI is being observed in Morocco. Hoy es lunes, el 21 de agosto 2023. Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa, Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones, y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est lundi le 21 août 2023 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Monday, the 21st of August, 2023, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that is why we never, ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Always be careful, oh, my friends. Be careful, oh, my friends.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Thanks for listening on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We acknowledge those who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom, and elsewhere in the world, in fact. And so, if you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, there's a US number, 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. We have a UK number as well, That's 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook and the search box up the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to not just hear but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, no sweat. There's always YouTube. All you need is a smartphone, a tablet, computer, laptop, desktop, any one of those. Then you need internet connection. But more importantly than internet connection is internet connectivity. One sure way to test for connectivity is to open a browser like Google Chrome, for example. If you do that, then if you can browse, then you're good to go. Otherwise, you might have a little problem on your hands there, which is not unresolvable. And we thank you as well for taking full use of our text messages or text line and our WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. So there is that. There is that as well. So you can check it out on YouTube. In the meantime, what's on your mind this afternoon? 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. How about that? Thank you very much. Let's greet some of those who have already checked in, like Norman Hines in St. Thomas. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Hines. Thank you very much for tuning in. And thanks for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks. Is this Michael?
Yes, sir.
What's on your mind this afternoon?
Well, at the same coffee business still left on my mind, cause I don't know if I hear the man to Jack talk one idea about the coffee, especially the High Mountain coffee, $3,000 for the High Mountain coffee. And meanwhile, when 20,000 come in, they used to get 300,000 bucks, and now $12,000 bucks I'm getting now. To show the lower price in the coffee industry, man, they must step up and deal with the farmers them more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On what basis are you demanding more as farmers?
Well, on the basis, a box of Blue Mountain coffee, when it done process, them get 8 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 pounds, and you can get a pound of Blue Mountain coffee now up in none of these factories less than $5,000, sir. That 5 years is 40. And when they look and pay the grassroots man, $10,000.
So who's getting the 40,000?
The people that will process it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the factory that will buy it.
Yes.
And then when they process it is 8 pounds, and the 8 pounds is $5,000 a pound, the lowest time. If you think it's like, you can check even one of those supermarkets around town there, and you see, especially uptown.
So you have done the calculation and you think that you should be getting at least $12,000 per box?
That is what we were getting before during the Raja Clark movements, that we were getting $14,000, which have right down back to $3,000, until Mr. Charles come save it the other day, I bring it up to $10,000. I checked so we shouldn't get less than $18,000, so 17,500 or so, But we have a lot of expense, because when we were getting $12,000, you could get 3 bags of fertilizer feed, where you even get $17,000 right now, we hardly can buy a bag of urea. So I would like your work on it, sir, because you're one of the greatest journalists we ever seen, because when you hear you talk, you come in like Cassius Play, you come in like Sir Garfield Sobers, because you can board all different type of ball and board. I bet you work back, I know say you have some work, I enjoy you and thank you for having me, sir. I want you to work on the coffee, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the call. Sorry to hear of your plight. Hope you can get some good news before Christmas. All right. Thank you very much. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. After the break, it's a Monday afternoon, just after, well, almost 2:30. Well, it's now 2:30. Stand by for the official time signal.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security, as part of the transformation process, is upgrading its telephone infrastructure. Members of the public are advised that during the period Thursday, August 17 to Friday, August 25, customers may experience delays when contacting some of our offices via telephone. The Ministry apologizes for the inconvenience caused and thanks our valued clients and stakeholders for their patience as we improve our systems to serve you better. That was a public service announcement from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelley and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Stories from Jamaica and across the world, keeping you informed on the issues of the day and more. It's Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Learn interesting facts and trivia. Participate in lively discussions on affairs locally and internationally. Hear the stories of business, philanthropy, and more from Jamaicans at home and abroad on Both Sides of the Story. Come tell your side of the story. Both Sides of the Story with Dervan Malcolm, on a mission to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Weekdays, 2 to 5 p.m. Live on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
As we said, it's a Monday afternoon, just after 2:30, and that means time for Land Solutions. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, you can call us on your, well, there's also the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, which is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in St. Andrew. All are invited to call ahead instead of turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findley and Company. The numbers to call 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. They also have an office in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. That's Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building. And on a Thursday, they have an extended workshop, or if you want to call it, an extended session with those who have land-related issues. There's a period of time between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, every Thursday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Additional legal resources are brought to bear on the needs of those who turn up on a Thursday between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. So let's get to it. Let's get those calls and those messages, and let's greet Attorney at Law, Gloria Brown. I beg your pardon. I've been getting so used to handing over to Gloria Brown because it's been ages since we have had Calicia Findley. And so, I don't know, let's bring out the confetti and what else do we need to bring out? What a thing. Calicia Findley, how are you?
I am very well. Thank you. How are you doing?
All the better for hearing your voice. My goodness.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, it's all yours in this 12th year of Land Solutions.
And you're not in Dervan. Thank you so much. Thanks for your continued support, you and the team at Power 106. And thanks especially to our loyal listeners. I know some of you have been with us from the beginning, from 2011. So again, thank you so much. And as Dervan just said, I'll be your host for today, Calicia Findley. I'm back. I've been off for some weeks, but I'm back and it's good to be back. And a reminder, our text and WhatsApp line for today, 876-881-5254. Again, that's 881-5254. And I'll go straight into our WhatsApp messages. And just a reminder, as Dervan said, to call in live on air. The numbers are 876-922-4113 and 922-4113. So, over to WhatsApp. What do I need to start buying land in Jamaica? I am in the UK. You're going to need the same documents as Jamaica would need when buying property. If you're going by mortgage, you need a valuation report, a surveyor's identification report. If you do not have a TRN, that's a taxpayer registration, you must obtain one. It doesn't matter that you don't live in Jamaica. Doesn't matter that you never intend to live in Jamaica. Doesn't matter that if you are Jamaican, you left before the TRN requirements came in. It is just a rule. You must have a TRN when you are purchasing property in Jamaica. There's no way around it. If you live in the United States, you can't use your social security number. It doesn't apply to transactions here. So you must have a TRN. Again, if you're getting a mortgage, you must have a surveyor's identification report. That report shows you the property boundaries, tells you whether everything is in order. You have and let me just go back to that. It tells, when I say whether everything is in order, It tells you whether there are any breaches of covenants or encroachment. You can't get a mortgage without the surveyor's ID report. And of course, you must get a valuation report that tells you how much property is valued at. And it's good to get those documents before. I'm sorry, Dervan.
Sorry, we have a caller.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon,
how may I help? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, much better. How may I help?
Good afternoon. Hello, are you able to hear me?
I'm hearing you, yes.
Good
Are
afternoon.
you hearing me?
Brother Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Miss Finley, I am problem, you see? Real land matter, no, but I am calling just to say congratulations to Land Solution and coming on 406 2008. I mean 2011. I was there the very first day, and I want you all to know that I have been helped so much because of this program.
Thank you so much.
Right, and I want to congratulate you all and to wish.
We appreciate it. And when we started, we used to come on at night. Thank you so much.
Right, I have been helped in so many ways, and I'm able now to pass on information to others and to direct them to Gloria Brown and Finlay, and to tell them when you have problem with land matters, just call these persons.
Thank you so much.
Right, and for that, Brother Dervan, I encourage them also tune in to Power 106 on Mondays between 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. You'll get all the information you need about land matters.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just keep.
We will. Thank you so much again.
Bless you too. We have another caller, Ms. Finley.
Hello, good afternoon. Hi, Felicia. Afternoon. Welcome back. Afternoon. Thank you. This voice sounds familiar. Oh, okay. I think I've texted you. I don't think I've ever spoken to you. Okay. Thanks so much for calling. How may I help?
So I was passing a policy recently, and a notice was posted on the wall. So I looked at it and I saw where it said that it was from National Land Agency, and they were having an adjudication hearing for that property. What does an adjudication hearing do?
All right. What's the purpose of it? It means someone is applying for title for that property, and the applicant is going to go before a committee to basically state their case as to whether they should be granted title. That's it in a nutshell.
Oh,
we call it an adjudication committee.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Can you say what parish it was? What parish?
Oh, it was in it's in St. Anne.
Okay. Yes. So they're applying for title, and in some cases, you have what we call the adjudication committees, where a committee sits and they hear the person's case, so to speak, and decide whether their application is credible and whether they should be granted a title or not.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thanks again, and take care.
Sure. Bye-bye.
The call in live on air, 876-922-411-325, or text and WhatsApp line, 876-881-5254. 876-881-5254. You may also send us a message on Facebook. That's facebook.com/land-solution. Over to our text line. How do I sell land that's still in my grandmother's name? First of all, you cannot, and that is what causes a lot of people to end up in problems and sometimes in prison. If property is not in your name, you are not the owner. Full stop. Doesn't matter that it belongs to your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your father, your uncle, whoever. To be able to legally sell land, the land must belong to you legally. So if you have an interest in selling property and you're not the legal owner, when I say that your name is on the title, you must go the process of applying for title in your name. A lot of times people believe that once property was owned by a relative, let's say the relatives didn't make a will, or we all have family, especially in the rural areas. Land is just left there. You say, all right, it belongs to my grandfather. died, I'm now the only person alive, so this property now automatically belongs to me. Incorrect. You have to make application for the title to get it in your name, whether that means probating the person's will if they made a will, administering their estate if they didn't make a will, or if you qualify, making a direct application for title. If you can show that you have been in control of the property for 12 years, undisturbed, you can make an application for title. And remember, I don't need to say, and this is a song, everybody would know it by now, paying property taxes alone isn't enough. You have to show some physical connection with the land, whether you live there, you take care of it, you rent it out, you pay someone to take care of it, you bush it. So in doing any of those will place you in a position to make the application for the title. So once you have all that evidence, you get the property surveyed. If anybody's in a position like that now, do it as soon as possible because the survey diagram takes several months to be completed. Ensure the property taxes are paid up, and then that puts you in a position to make the application for the title. Then once the title has been granted, then and only then can you sell the property. Please don't want anybody to end up in jail if they listen to Land Solution. This is one of the things that you should know. You must become the legal owner of property before you can sell it. This is Land Solution.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. Ooh la la. I see what I want at Phosphate Store-wide Summer Super Sale. Come get your wires, breakers, LED downlights, solar lamps, LED bulbs, standing fans, and so much more. Then wonderful and fun to give away. Come get your smart locks, smart bulbs, video doorbells, and video cameras. You can't afford to miss it. Come shop. Come save at Phosphate Super Sale, July 3 to August 31. See you there at Phosphate. Open Sundays.
Thanks a lot for staying with us on today's edition of Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5, 876-922-4113-5. The text line and the WhatsApp number are one and the same for Land Solutions, 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is located in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of just turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findlay. And we'll remember, every Thursday between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, there is an extra special period of time between 10 and 1, between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, for further assistance on land-related matters. Make a note of it. Between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. on a Thursday, the team of attorneys at the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company provide extra time in service land-related issues. You can check that out. In the meantime, let's hand you over once again to attorney at law, all right, let me not get into the superlatives there for the time being. And it's so nice to hear Calicia Findlay back with us. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So it's all yours once again. Sorry, go ahead.
And for those who wish to call us at our Ocho Rios office, the number is 876-974-6083. That's 876-974-6083. Continuing with our WhatsApp messages. My father had promised that he would, but he didn't. Because of the promise, I paid the property taxes for the past 5 years. Can I sue his estate to get this money back? Interesting question. First of all, the time and this is the time and energy it would take for you to file suit to recover property taxes paid for the last 5 years may not be enough. I don't know the value of the property, but compared to other jurisdictions in the world, property taxes in Jamaica are relatively low. Property taxes in Jamaica are based on the unimproved value, meaning the bare bones property of the land, not whatever is built on it. So if you have a $50 million house, your property taxes aren't going to be based on that $50 million value. It's just going to be based on the land as if nothing was there. So it may not be worth your time and energy to file suit. Even if you decide, all right, you want to make a point through because no one forced you to property taxes. Yes, you can say that you had an expectation that the property would have been willed to you, but remember, a will only comes into effect after the person dies, and just the verbal promise that it would have been left to you is not sufficient. So you may just have to chalk it up to losing that money. If you want to make a request from this estate, have them refund you, you could try that, but they're not under any obligation. And again, I don't think you would be successful. If anything, consider it a contribution to national development. But all the best with that. Continuing with WhatsApp. Is it possible for land to be bought or leased if the title of land is in the process of being transferred between owners? It is. Let me give you an example. Let's say John is buying land from Mary, and Susan now wants to lease the property while that transaction is ongoing. If the parties agree, it can be done. And a lot of times, people buy property subject to tenancy, meaning you buy a property on the agreement that the existing tenants will remain in the property, and when the sale is finished, you will now become that tenant's landlord. So yes, it is certainly possible. Just a word of caution though. Some people, when they're buying property for investment, meaning they're just buying it to make money, they're not necessarily buying it to live on it or to farm it. They just want to make money off it, so they decide to keep the tenants. You have to ensure that you do your due diligence, do your research. As it is, it may be very difficult to collect. As it is difficult to collect rent from tenants sometimes, and that may be the case even more so where you are taking on a tenant not originally known to you. So make sure you discuss this with the seller, get an assessment of the tenant to see if this will work for you. If it does, take on the property with the tenant and it doesn't work for you, you go through the entire process of giving them a notice to quit. If they disobey, you have to take them to court, etc., etc. So make sure you do that. You do your due diligence carefully. I think I see a message coming in on Facebook. I added my son to my title, but now his name appears first on the title and my name second. I want to be the main person. Can this be changed? I'm so happy for this question. Thank you so much. I have dollars for every time we get asked this question. So let's say 3 people. Susan, John wants his name to be first, Mary second, Susan, and people believe that that is the order of importance or the order of who has control over the land. That is incorrect. It goes the order in which names appear on a title. Again, the order in which names appear on a title is irrelevant. All 3 of you on the title will have equal rights to the property, depending of course on whether you are tenants in common, and if one person may have a 50%, other person 30%,
Yes, this is Dervan.
other person 20%. John, Mary, and Susan as joint tenants, or John, Mary, and Susan as tenants in common in equal shares. John doesn't have any greater rights because his name is first. Susan doesn't have any lesser rights because her name is last. All three of you have the same rights. Now, you're asking if this can be changed. It's a waste. It can, but it's a waste of time and money. And again, it is irrelevant because it doesn't matter whose name appears first. If you want it to be changed, I suppose you would have to do a transfer. This is not even something you would do. Because I would tell this person, no, you would just be wasting your money. I suspect you'd have to do over the documents, change the order in which the transfer instrument is submitted to the National Land Agency, but it would be a waste of your time and resources. I told my cousin that I willed my house to him, but now I have changed my mind. Do I have to tell him to change my mind? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you make a will, you do not have to communicate it, or you don't have to communicate its content to anyone. That's a very personal decision. Your beneficiaries what you have left for them in your will, you are certainly free to do so, but you don't have to. So in this case now, this person has willed something, I think they said to their cousin, now they have changed their mind. You're under no obligation to tell your cousin. Again, as I just said, a will comes into effect after the person dies. So if you want to change your will several times, you are free to do so. Just to say, when you are choosing wisely, they step into your shoes, they can do whatever you would do as if you were alive. Careful about your beneficiaries and what you communicate to them. And again, I say this is very personal because you know the people who you want to leave something for in your will. Some people know that they may have a family member, a friend who they can trust with their life. And if that's the case, they are comfortable telling them, hey, I've willed my house or my car or whatever to you. It's sad to say, though, for some people, they don't have that level of trust to the person they may be leaving something for. So be very careful. You may not want to disclose what you have left to someone. Again, it's a very personal decision, so think about it carefully. Continuing with our messages, how long does a probate application take? I've been waiting on one now for over 6 years. How do you get updates? So, if there are no issues with the documentation submitted, you can be granted a probate in about 6 months. And I'm choosing my words carefully because not every case is the same. So a probate granted in about 6 months is considered a quick grant. Sometimes, however, there are issues with the application. Maybe documentation is missing. Maybe there's an error on the documentation. Sometimes the court may want more information. Where that is the case, they will send to us the attorney and say, hey, correct this, submit this, explain this, clarify this, etc. In those instances, that can, of course, lengthen the process because we may need further documents signed by the applicant or anybody connected with the estate. And then when that happens now, all that is signed, resubmitted, and then essentially your application is restarted at the Supreme Court. So there is no set time for how long a probate application may take. Again, I said 6 months is considered quick. Some of them can drag on for years. In your case, you say that you have been waiting for 6 years. If you have been waiting for 6 years, then I think something is wrong. Either something is outstanding on your part or maybe your attorney's part. So check with your attorney, check with the court. You can get updates from the attorney. You can get updates directly from the court. You can call the court or visit the court, submit the suit number. Sometimes they may require identification to see what connection you have with the estate. But again, 6 years it shouldn't take you 6 years. Something is amiss, so have your attorney. If you have retained an attorney, have an attorney check on it for you. And I'll tell you this also, it is sometimes easier for us as the attorneys to get updates from the court. So I'm hoping you would have engaged an attorney. If not, you may want to consider doing that, because a lot of times when persons submit applications on their own, there may be many mistakes, and if an attorney was doing it for you, it probably would lessen the errors. For those of you who wish to call us in office, law offices of Brown, Finlay and Company, the numbers are 876-908-1950, 876-908-3518. And to call us at our Ocho-Rest office, the number is 876-974-6083. This is Land Solutions.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security, as part of the transformation process, is upgrading its telephone infrastructure. Members of the public are advised that during the period Thursday, August 17 to Friday, August 25, customers may experience delays when contacting some of our offices via telephone. The ministry apologizes for the inconvenience caused, and it was a public service announcement from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, providing opportunity, stability, and social protection.
Tune in to Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature High Pro Food Independence. High Pro Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's High Pro Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. High Pro Food Independence is sponsored by High Pro.
Both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5, 876-922-4113-5. The text line and the WhatsApp number are one and the same for Land Solutions. It's 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of turning up at the law offices of Brown, Findlay and Company. The numbers to call: 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. Let's take a call right now. Attorney at law, Calicia Findlay.
Thanks, Dervan. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Miss Finley. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes,
How may I help?
over the weekend, Miss Dora gave me a liar to call, but I forget the name. So calling to find out if you could assist me with the name.
All right, no problem.
She said
just hold on, and I'll have the producer take your number and give you a call as soon as I'm finished. All right? Thanks for calling. Just a reminder, the text and WhatsApp line for today is 876-881-5254. Again, that's 876-881-5254. What is the cost to remove someone's name from a title? The cost is dependent on the value of the property. So you're going to be looking at legal fees, which is a percentage, depending on the value, or a flat fee, and we'll also be looking on transfer tax. Once you are adding a name, once you are removing a name, you are transferring an interest. So you must pay transfer tax, and transfer tax is 2%. So send me a follow-up message of the value of the property. And remember, in most cases, when we speak about the value of the property, we mean the market value, how much you would sell it for. So once you send that, I can give you an idea what the cost would be. But in the land transactions, buying land, selling land, giving land, probating an estate, administering an estate, in large part, the fees, whether the legal fees or government duties, are based on the market value of the estate. Estate duties, so death tax, that's based on the value of the estate at the time the person died. That's the only thing that's based on the date of death, but everything else is generally based on the current market value. Continuing with let me go over to our text messages. How much deposit do you need to put down when buying a house? The usual amount, I should say, is 10%. You can go as low as 2 or 3%. However, most mortgage companies will want to show that you have paid at least 5% deposit. So we usually tell clients to make at least a deposit of 5%, and that's the minimum. You can pay as much as you want. You can start with 10%, 20%. That all depends on what is negotiated between the parties. Some people may start with 10%. They may pay another 10% later on. All depends on how the contract is structured and what the parties agree to. But generally speaking, getting a mortgage, you have to show that you have paid a deposit of at least 5%. If I transfer my house to my child, can they transfer it back to me? How long would they have to wait to transfer it back to me? I'm not sure the reasons why you would want to be having these multiple transfers, but yes, it is possible. You can transfer your property to your child and they can transfer it back to you. People have various reasons for doing transactions. There is no set time that you have to wait. So a mother can transfer property to her son in January, and if the son wants, he can transfer it back to the mother the very next month, the very next day, in fact. But again, be mindful that all will incur costs. You have legal fees, and you will have transfer tax. So be mindful. What I would encourage you to do, though, is to come into us for a consultation, and let's have a discussion to see what it is you're trying to achieve and why you're trying to achieve it. Why is it that you're considering transferring a property to someone and then having them transfer it back to you in short? It may be best to start there. Again, our number to call in live on air, 876-922-411-325. The text and WhatsApp line, 876-881-54. What can you do if no one wants to witness your will? I would contact Justice of the Peace, or I would go to an attorney's office, so the attorney and a member of their staff can witness the will for you. Really, you need to have at least 2 witnesses. One person cannot witness a will. If you have a will and it's only witnessed by one person, the will is invalid. You need at least 2 persons to witness the will. And of course, the witnesses cannot be getting anything out of the will. They can't be a beneficiary's spouse. If you're willing something to John, John can witness the will, and John's wife also cannot witness the will. I know a lot of persons sometimes are hesitant to go to an attorney, to have the attorney prepare their will or witness their will, because you may not be able to afford it. But it may work out better for you in the long run. You don't want to go ahead and try and do this document on your own and then end up in problems. We have seen it, where persons do their will on their own, and then when the beneficiaries or the executors come to us, what they think is a will isn't a will, because for whatever reason, whether it's just one witness, the will ends up being invalid. Someone wants to know how to proceed in getting a title for property where there is no will. In a case like that, you have to show a connection with the property. So you'd have to show that you have been taking care of the possession of the property for at least 12 years. Usually once property is willed to you, if you act quickly enough, then you can have the property be transferred into your name. If there is no will, you may have to show with the land show that you've been taking care of it for 12 years, and you can make a direct application for title. Let us say it is your parent and they did not make a will and they died within the past 12 years. You can administer their estate and then make an application for the title. And just to distinguish, it all depends on the time factor. In some instances, we may apply for probate, then we apply for the title. Or in other cases, we may just make a direct application for the title. So if you come to us and say, this property was willed to me 30 years ago, I want to have title in my name. Because so much time has passed, as long as you can show that you have been taking care of the property, living there, etc., we don't need to apply for probate. That is just a waste of resources because so much time would have passed. We just make a direct application for title. If you come to us and say, this property was willed to me last year, 12 years haven't passed, so in that case, we would have to apply for probate, then make an application for the title. The person just sent a follow-up message saying that within 12 years, you have to administer the estate. If not, with the land, you go ahead and make a direct application for the title. An interesting message on WhatsApp. What if my husband hasn't done anything wrong? Can I divorce him because I don't love him anymore? Can I still claim half the house? We have what's called in Jamaica no-fault divorce. So you really don't have to show a reason to file for a divorce. You don't have to prove that your wife has been unfaithful or there have been issues, etc. Yes, when you're filing the documentation for divorce, you have to state a brief reason. But if you simply say, I don't want to be married anymore, I'm no longer in love with this person, then the court will grant your application. So again, you don't have to show that there has been any major in the marriage. So yes, you can for a divorce. You have to show that you have been separated for at least a year and married for 2 years. And by separation, it doesn't have to be a physical separation. You can be separated but still be living in the same house. And yes, you can claim a half of the house. Even if you just decide that I just no longer want to be with this person. Once it qualifies as your matrimonial home, or what the law now says, the family home, meaning the house that you both live in together as husband and wife, once you qualify for the matrimonial home, you are entitled to claim a half of it. You can claim it before you are divorced, and you can claim it after you have been divorced. Don't wait too long. The law actually says you should do it within a year of being divorced. If you wait a little longer, you have to make an application for an extension of time. And most importantly, if you are a spouse seeking to claim a half of your matrimonial home, you must do it while your spouse or your ex-spouse is alive. The case law now says that you have to make this application while the other spouse is alive. If you wait until your spouse or your ex-spouse has died, the courts are now no longer granting those applications. They're saying the application must be made while the person is alive. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
The auto
On Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles. The World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land. You've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4113-5. 876-922-4113-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number for Land Solutions, 876-881-5254. 876-881-5254. The website is landsolutionsja.com. landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. All are encouraged to call ahead instead of just turning up. It's best to call ahead so you know what you will need, what you should take with you, what documents are necessary, etc., etc. So call ahead. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company. Those numbers, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. We also encourage you to take advantage of the services offered on a Thursday between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon at the Ocho Rios law offices of Brown, Findlay and Company, Shop 6 upstairs, the Jamaica National Building. And you're invited, those who live within the region and even those from outside of that region, you can make a note of the fact that every Thursday between 10 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, there is an enhanced period of service with respect to land-related matters. So take full advantage of that. In the meantime, let's hand you over once again to Attorney at Law, Calicia Findley.
Thank you, Dervan. If a parent does not make a will, how do you decide which child is in charge? No one child is in charge. All children have an equal say in the application or in the affairs of their deceased parent. So once a parent dies without leaving a will, their estate needs to be administered. All children are entitled to an equal share in the estate. And these include children not born within the marriage if the parent was married. A lot of people still seem to think that children born in the marriage have a greater right or a greater share. All children are entitled to an equal share in the estate. So let's say there are 5 children of this person who has died without making a will. Again, all 5 are entitled equally. The estate now needs to be administered. All 5 of the children can now come together and decide which one or which 2 of the children will be the administrator of the estate, who will actually sign on the application when it is being submitted to the court. Even though you have these 2 children signing on the application, they still must consult with the others in deciding what needs to be done with the property, whether it's going to be sold, whether it's going to be transferred to all of them. So again, all children have an equal say in the property. If the parent, let's say on the other hand, if the parent died and they left a will, let's say they have 5 children, they left a will, and in the will, they named their pastor and a friend as the executors. Believe it or not, it is the executors who decide what's going to happen. So they act in accordance with the deceased wishes. So the parent had 5 children, they appointed their pastor and a friend as the executor, and in the will, it says that the property is to be sold. The executors should abide by what it said. So when you make a will, it's the executors who decide. That's why you have to choose executors carefully. If you don't make a will, then it's your next of kin who decides. If you're married, it'd be your spouse. If you have children, it'd be your children. They're the ones who decide. So it's always best to make a will, especially if you want to determine who inherits your estate. And I suspect most persons want to determine what happens to their property. They don't want to leave it up to chance or to the government. Over to WhatsApp. If a parent has died and they've made a will and there's a child, can that parent leave the property for one child, or should all the children benefit from the property? Even if they died, they have, let me go again with that example, they have 5 children, but they have now only willed the property to one child. The law says that the property belongs to that one child. The others are not entitled to anything. It may sound unfair, but if you only will your property to one person, that one person is the one who benefits and who decides what can happen to the property. If that child decides that they want to include the other children, their siblings, then sure, they can do so. But once there is a will, the property solely belongs to that child. A lot of parents sometimes do this, either one, because they simply just want one child to benefit, or a lot of parents believe that if they will it to that one child, because they're the eldest, the most responsible, they happen to be in Jamaica for whatever reason, they believe that if they will it to one child, that child will ensure that the others benefit from the property. And that doesn't necessarily happen. If it is that you want all your children to benefit from your estate, will it to all of them. It doesn't matter if one child lives overseas. Include all of them if you truly want everyone to benefit. I signed an offer to sell my house, but someone is offering a higher sum. Can I go ahead with the second person? Yes, you can. Offers to sell property, offers to purchase property are always subject to preparation of an agreement for sale. And that basically means that even though you have signed, say you accept John Brown's offer, if you get a higher offer, if you just decide that you've changed your mind and you want to sell to someone else, or you decide you don't want to sell any at all, then you can. And there is no penalty. As long as a deposit has not been paid, there is no penalty. So a lot of times persons sign multiple offers and they then decide who to go with. If you are on the receiving end of it, let's say you've made an offer to buy property and then all of a sudden you hear that this person is no longer selling to you, of course it is not a good feeling, because that is disappointing. But you can change your mind after you sign an offer. So what I would advise you to do, if you are in a position where you have made an offer on a property and it has been accepted, act quickly. So ensure that your attorney prepares the sale agreement. If you're a purchaser, follow up with the vendor's attorney, have your attorney follow up with the vendor's attorney to ensure that you get the documentation as soon as possible, because once the deposit has been paid, once the sale agreement has been signed, if a party decides to cancel, then there will be penalties. If it's just the offer to purchase that has been signed and there's no money, no sale agreement, then there are no penalties. If the sale agreement has been signed and the deposit has been paid, and one person decides they want to just jump out of the contract, if it's the purchaser, they can lose their deposit. So they can lose their entire 10%, no questions asked. In fact, it doesn't even have to be stated in the contract. If it is the seller who decides that they just want to cancel the sale agreement, the purchaser can take them to court, and the court, more often than not, once the purchaser is not at fault, the court will force them to continue with the sale, and they can also be made to pay you money outside of the contract. So act quickly. Don't just rely on an offer to purchase. I want to leave something for my church, but I'm not sure how much. How can I decide? I can't tell you that. It is completely up to you. And as attorneys, we give advice to the best of our knowledge and ability, but a lot of things are really personal decisions. And we give advice, but we don't influence. So I can't say you should leave a house, $1, $10, whatever, to your church. It is completely up to you. You have to just assess your means, assess the needs of the church. Do you have other beneficiaries? Do you also want them to benefit? That is completely up to you. So all the best with that decision, and I hope it works out well for you. Someone wants to know how do you decide which company to take a mortgage from? Again, another personal decision. You have to sit and assess what each company is offering. Do you already have an existing relationship with this institution? They may waive commitment fees. They may pay for your evaluation, your surveyor's identification report. So you may just have to literally do a column of pros and cons and see which one works out better for you. Because as the attorneys, I would never say to you, all right, go with X company. Again, it is completely up to you. I will commend you, though, for taking the step of trying to buy property. Let me see if I can get to that. Another quick message. Can an executor sell property before she gets probate? I think my mother's executor has already sold the property but isn't releasing any information. One, an executor must provide you with updates, statements of account. That is their job. If they don't, you can sue them. That is their obligation. An executor can commence a sale before probate is granted, but they cannot finalize the sale because their name has to be on the title before they can complete the sale. So once probate is granted, they can take steps to have their name on the title, and only when their name is on the title can they finalize the sale. So yes, the executor can start the sale, but they can't finalize. If you have been requesting information from this executor and you have not been getting it, if you haven't already done so, you need to consult an attorney and have the attorney write to that executor. And if nothing is forthcoming, then you'll have to file suit. But again, an executor must provide you with information on a continuing basis on the status of the estate. Thanks again for tuning in to another edition of Land Solutions on this our 12th anniversary. I've been your host for today, Calicia Finley. It's good to be back, and thanks as always to Dervan and the team of Power 106. Take care, everyone, and have a good rest of the day.
As of September 1, 2023, incoming air passengers must complete their C5 form online at enterjamaica.com. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency and the United Citizenship Agency is 3:30.
Your taxes hold the key. Need to pay your property tax, motor vehicle certificate, a fitness fee, or a traffic ticket? No need to join the line. Go online. Service at your fingertips 24/7. That's right. All these services and more are available online at jamaicatax.gov.jm. Fast, convenient, secure. Visit the How To tab on our website or call 888-TAX-HELP for details. Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
Some blessings in my life, blessings in my life. Follow and hide. They make you dance today, but tomorrow they change their mind. Make you faithful promises today, but tomorrow they change their mind. But I'm a humble man. I love good people.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. News coming out of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Despite a sluggish start, the online Gleaner is telling us, that's the Jamaica-Gleaner.com, that despite a sluggish start, Jamaica's Hansel Parchment delivered the country's first medal at these championships, a silver in the 110-meter hurdles at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. The fast finishing Parchment took the silver medal in a time of 13.07 seconds behind American Grant Holloway, who clocked 12.96 for his third hold on the World Championships title. So that's the story coming out of, or one of the stories coming out of Budapest, Hungary. And you can continue to follow is on the Gleaner's website, jamaica-gleaner.com. And in terms of elsewhere in the news, Haiti and the Dominican Republic warn of floods and landslides as Tropical Storm Franklin nears. That is serious. We have to say that we experienced quite a bit of turbulence flying back from Florida yesterday. It was as turbulence can be, quite frightening at times. And the sudden drops and dips, we're grateful that we survived all of that. So the story is tropical churned through the Caribbean Sea today as authorities in Haiti and the Dominican Republic warned residents to prepare for landslides and heavy floods. The storm was centered at mid-afternoon, about 275 miles or 445 kilometers south of Santo Domingo, the capital of the Dominican Republic. It had maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour or 85 kilometers per hour. It was moving west at 4 miles or 6 kilometers per hour, but was forecast to make a sharp turn to the north late today or early tomorrow, Tuesday. Franklin was expected to strengthen before making landfall late tomorrow, Tuesday, in Hispaniola, the island shared by Haiti and the Dominican Republic. The storm is forecast to drop up to 10 inches or 25 centimeters of rain in both countries, with up to 15 inches or 38 centimeters in isolated areas. Heavy rainfall is of great concern to Haiti, where severe erosion in many places often leads to dangerous flooding. More than 40 people died in June following a single day of heavy rain. More than 40 people died in June. This is Haiti. In Haiti, more than 40 people died in June following a day of heavy rain from a thunderstorm. It took, and 40 lives later. So sad. The mudslide risk in Haiti is just awful, said Phil Klotzbach, a meteorologist at Colorado State University, noting that a slow-moving storm poses great danger to Haiti, given that it's so stripped of trees. Too much cutting down of trees in Haiti. And that has added to the vulnerability in this French-speaking Caribbean territory. Several Haitians in the capital of Port-au-Prince told the Associated Press that they didn't know a tropical storm was coming, despite authorities posting warnings on social media. Similar situation for the people in Hawaii. They just didn't work, and the people in charge of the system. And we see how scorched Hawaii has been as a result of those fires. Serious things happening around us. Several Haitians in the capital of Port-au-Prince, as we said, told the Associated Press that they didn't know a tropical storm was coming. Now, we better take sleep, mark that. We can't afford not to know. We have to know. our people must be sensitized. A tropical storm warning was in effect for the entire southern coast of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. A tropical storm watch was imposed for the Turks and Caicos Islands. Earlier today, Monday, there were 3 tropical storms swirling through the Caribbean and Atlantic Ocean, an unusual occurrence as the region braces for a busier than average hurricane season. We went from nothing to a lot in a day, Klutzbach said. One of those storms, Emily, dissipated late this morning, and another storm, Gert, was expected to do the same soon. Franklin formed Sunday and was dropping heavy rain over parts of Puerto Rico on Monday. Gert formed overnight to become the 8th named storm of the Atlantic hurricanes. Then the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration updated its forecast and warned that this year's hurricane season would be above normal. Between 14 to 21 named storms are forecast. Of those, 6 to 11 could become hurricanes, with 2 to 5 of them possibly becoming major hurricanes. The North Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30. Let's keep our eyes wide open and pay attention to the respective bulletins. And some more World Championship stories coming through from the Gleaners online platform, jamaica-gleaner.com. And this one is a selfie of Shelley and Fraser Price and Sherika Jackson. And let's just bring up the complete story. So the story is Jamaica's pair of Shelley and Fraser Price and Sherika Jackson mined silver and bronze medals, respectively, in the final of the women's 100 meters at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. The silver medal winning Jackson crossed the tape in a time of 10.72 seconds, while Fraser Price took bronze in 10.77 seconds. Despite qualifying for the final as a non-automatic qualifier and running from lane 9, America's Sha'Carri Richardson stunned the field, taking gold in a championship record 10.65 seconds. What a thing. We told you already about Parchment. And a couple of, well, let's put it this way. A couple of the races didn't go as some of us expected. And we still want to wish our athletes all the very best, no matter the nature and extent of the performance. For those of us who follow track and field and sports in general, we know that there are all kinds of elements that could come into the picture and cause a dramatic shift one way or another. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. We're also being told of the 400-meter final. McLeod sneaks into women's 400-meter final. Price, Young, miss out. Candice McLeod will be Jamaica's lone representative in the final of the women's 400-meter event at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. McLeod, competing in Heat 1, finished fourth in semifinal 1 in 50.62 seconds, but managed to secure a non-automatic qualifying spot in a race that was won by the Dominican Republic's Mary Lady Paulino. 49.54 seconds. Nikisha Price in semifinal 2 finished fifth after clocking 51.24, with Cherokee Young having to settle for sixth in 51.40. Poland's Natalia Kaszmarek is the quickest through to the final in a time of 49.50 seconds, while Barbados's Sada Williams ended that heat in second, clocking 49.58. We're just trying to give you a quick roundup, courtesy of the Gleaner, a quick roundup of some of the happenings at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. We're also highlighting a couple of systems in the North Atlantic and the likely impact. So we need to be mindful of these things. Rhine Park water supply system upgrade is another story that is trending. Global food security at crossroads as rice shortages and surging prices hit the most vulnerable. There's more after the break.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 7543714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:46 on Power.
Everywhere. It's onespotmedia.com. Your favorite radio station from anywhere in the world on your tablet, smartphone, or personal computer. Download the app now and keep up to date with your favorite local programs on TVJ. Check us out at onespotmedia.com. Follow us on Instagram, facebook.com/onespotmedia, and subscribe now. onespotmedia.com.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program. Both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Our text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. Good afternoon to Franklin McDonald, who is always sharing some useful information or another. We thank him for his support. So he has shared with us a story, Haiti's deforestation